Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Neelam Ahuja. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok at neelam.ahuja. Today, let's talk about the row Inside Out Margaux 17. Before we begin, for those of you who are not familiar, the row Margaux bag is what I think of as a very signature bag for them. Much like Hermes has the Birkin and the Kelly, and Chanel has their classic flap. The Margaux is the Row's trademark bag, and it's offered in a variety of leathers and even some fabrics like linen, and now they've come up with this canvas leather inside-out version. It comes in a 7.5, a 10, a 15, and a 17. That refers to the length across the bottom. This one is the largest, the 17, and currently the only size the inside-out was offered in, the 17. I'm 5'2". It's a big bag. I like big bags. I don't mind that it's large. The name Inside Out. If you look here, you're going to see this front zippered pocket and this top panel. If you look on the inside of a traditional leather Margaux bag, that's what you would see on the inside. So if you pulled that classic leather bag inside out, you would get something that looks like this, and thus the name. The overall style of this bag, much like her sisters, she is a top handle tote, 2 leather covered handles. This one obviously is in canvas and leather, as I mentioned. It has the signature adjustable side buckles. It's currently on the smallest hole. It has a front zip pocket, and the logo is stamped at the front above it. At the back, there's a snap pocket. Inside is a removable snap pouch, quite large actually. And what drew me to the bag was the look of it because of this pouch when it's peeking out over the top. And when you remove it, you're going to find, well, first of all, the size of it, it's quite large. It does fill the space of the interior of the bag. When you remove the pouch, there are no dividers to speak of, and it's the way the classic Margaux is, but it does offer a few side pockets so that you can store your cell phone or your keys or anything that you're going to need more readily when you're out and about. The bottom of the bag has 5 protective feet. Actually, this is how you can tell a 15 from a 17 if you can't tell any other way. That 5th foot means it's a 17. Because it's canvas and leather, it's obviously lighter than the 17 and the leather, but it's actually a little lighter than the 15. The bag measurements, the length is 17 inches, height 12.5, 15.5 if you include the pouch. The depth is 9.5 inches, and the handle drops about 6 inches. Just under 6 inches actually. The inner pouch can be adjusted with this little pull tab here, and it can be secured. It doesn't have its own handle on it, so it's not really going to go over the shoulder or anything, but what I think it's great for is if you're heading to the gym and you need to take it with you and maybe put your dirty clothes inside of it for the return trip, or anything that you want to keep separate from the rest of your contents. And also the bag can be carried without the pouch, and it gives it a different look. The material of the pouch is quite sturdy. It's not slinky or thin. It's thick, and it has a good weight to it. It's a mid-weight material. The straps are tall enough, long enough that you can get it comfortably over your shoulder, especially if you're wearing just a t-shirt or a shirt or something thin. I know Mary-Kate was walking around New York, and she had a thin coat, a velvet coat, and then this over it. I don't know that you could get this over a puffer jacket. That would be a bit tricky. Might not be a lot of space, but it is comfortable for me with what I'm wearing right now. The bag retails for $3,800 US before taxes. It is available at many places, the Row boutiques, online, Saks, Bergdorf's, places like that. It's offered in a bunch of colors. This is the black on black, and then beige on beige, and then there's a brown with beige. A boutique that I work with closely here in Toronto, 119 Cargo, they're offering it, well, they're going to be ordering it in a different colorway. I think that's what is unique about this Inside Out Margaux, is because of the canvas and this leather trim, you can play around with the colors and get these neat combinations and varieties. How to style it. This bag is obviously more casual than the leather version. It's less structured, it's not as hard, and it's not as rigid. So obviously it's going to look very nice with your denim. And it's going to look, because it's oversized, I really like the idea of wearing it with an oversized outfit with a big coat and chunky boots. But I've also paired it with button-down shirt and a nice skirt, and I think it looks nice. But if I had a head-to-toe full suit, I would probably carry my leather Margaux. I think it just looks a little more elegant. In terms of whether I would recommend it. I mean, obviously, if you followed me for a while, you know how much I love my Margaux. I love the Margaux bag. I think it's just a really quiet and classy statement bag without being a loud statement. And I think that this is a great, more casual version of that timeless classic bag. The thing, usually I spend a little bit of time talking about the functionality here, but because it's a 17, it's not really going to be a question of, well, will it fit or accommodate the things that I would need to get into it, like a computer or a change of shoes. It's an excellent work bag, for sure. It's a great overnight bag. I think it's a great travel bag. The only thing that I would say is if I was part of the design process for this, I would have said, could you add a shoulder strap? Because I mean, on my frame, a 17 crossbody would probably be overwhelming, but a taller guy, girl, carrying this bag would love it. I'm sure they would love to be hands-free occasionally. That would have been a nice addition. And I think this is cool, this pouch that kind of cinches in, and I think that the fact that you can carry it around very easily, not worrying about whether it's going to scratch or get dirty, I mean, wipe it down with a cloth and off you go, makes it a more practical offering in the Margaux family. And also it's, the accountant in me looks at this as the cost per use is much lower because I baby my other Margaux. And this one, she's actually going to get carried around. So I like that, and I know that $3,800 is a lot of money. It absolutely is, but the fact is I probably will be using this a lot more. If you don't have a Margaux and you're considering buying a big bag by the row, I would say your first bag should be the classic signature saddle leather or pebbled leather version. If you are looking to add a second Margaux, I would get the inside out before I would opt for another color in the saddle leather or the pebbled leather. Because I think this is a bag that you're just going to be able to carry more easily. And just one final point. My husband, who very rarely migrates over to my side of the closet, came over and was looking at this bag, and I mentioned how I had to do this review, and he said, is that the inside out Margaux? And I stopped dead in my tracks and said, what is happening? Why do you know about this bag? He's been eyeing it. He really likes it. I think it's very androgynous looking, and the cost per use of this bag, it's going to go way down because I think he likes it. Men, women, it has such broad appeal. That is your inside out Margaux 17 review.